Good afternoon. My name is Scott Rutledge, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead.
观众朋友，大家好，欢迎收看今天的直击美股，我是主持人赵冰晶，在纽约向您问好。周四早上例行公布的申请失业金的人数维持在25万的下方，表明劳动力市场紧俏，雇主们并没有太大的意愿解雇员工，这是为明天即将公布的非农就业数据奠定了良好的基础。而除此之外呢，今天油价是自6月以来首次突破了50美元。一方面，从供应面上来讲，欧佩克的冻产协议助推了油价；而从需求面上来讲呢，也有消息传出，中国以及俄罗斯的需求在未来将会有上涨的可能。好的，具体的内容我们来进入今天的交易员采访。Scott, we just had a pretty typical quiet session before the big job number came out. What is your prediction on tomorrow's big job number?
Well, I think predictions are only predictions. We have to see which way the market wants to go because no one knows, even if we get a strong report, will we break to the upside or will the market be scared that raise will be raised, or do they want a mediocre report to have Goldilocks or a bad report, which it all depends on how bad. So for me, I'm just going to look at the chart. You look at the chart of the S&P cash. It's very tight. You don't need to have strong opinions right here. You could wait for the actual market to tell you which way we're going to go. And as of right now, here you have a very, very tight range, a very nice triangle. Okay, in order for the bulls to get some momentum to the upside, first thing they have to do is clear this 2164 and then 2175-ish, and then you're back at highs.
Oil just broke a 50 for the first time since June. Since now we're on this oil moving train, if I want to take a free ride, where do you suggest I get off?
Well, hopefully you got on it last week. You're not just coming a little bit late to the train that can go off the tracks at any time. But it does seem as if it's back to being a tailwind versus a headwind. When did that occur? That occurred here, which we went over earlier this week. Okay, when the USO engulfed this descending channel, this was your time to get into oil, the USO right there. Or you could have waited to see it hold up, and it held up.
Then what about the commodities like gold and precious metal?
They're in the doghouse. Okay, we talked about them being vulnerable and the head and shoulders top in the GDX. So if you are short, I would have maybe covered today just in case. If the number's not hot, could get a bounce. All in all, sometimes things break and things change. Look at the trend. The intermediate trend broke right here. Here was your 50-day. It broke. Here is where the 21-day broke. So if you missed this break, hopefully you get out here. If you didn't get out here, on the retest of that, that was your sell, and then it got rejected both times and then created your head and shoulders top pattern, okay, which always is a distribution type of look, and now you have the downside follow through. So it's already met where I thought it can go. So at this point, I would say hopefully you covered today. But I wouldn't, be all in long. If you're in it for a floater, maybe it can get back up and retrace a little bit. But overall, this is broken. You avoid things that are broken.
Well, literally, there's always one stock that is on every financial news headline. It used to be Deutsche Bank, now it's Twitter. So without Google, Apple, and Disney interested in Twitter, what is your take on Twitter?
Well, without a deal, everyone said go right back down to 20. And it went right back down to 20. So yesterday when it was at 25, which people thought would be the takeover price, when it was 17, it was good to sell some.
Then what if no one buys Twitter? What if no deal at all? Will we go back to 14, 15?
I don't think 14, 15, but we'll look at levels. So if no one buys it, I bet you it goes back to 14, 15. Buyers are going to come back. At 25, no one was paying 28. At 18, maybe they'll pay 22, 23. So you can only buy extreme dips. And if you look here at Twitter, you know what? Every time it's had an extreme dip, it's been buyable. Extreme dip, buyable. Extreme dip, buyable. Extreme dip. If you sold some strength here, like I sold 50% of my options, and obviously the other 50%, I got it out even or a little down. I think this is your spot to buy it. Anywhere near, 18 to 1750 to maybe even 1950, you buy some options. Don't buy the stock because, unless you're playing it for a fundamental reason, which people aren't, because, if there is no deal, like you said, you could go lower, so you might as well just have risk as premium paid. If we get closer to 19, I'll buy the November, December 20s for a move maybe back to where it was. But I don't expect much higher than that now.
I mean, look at the volatility, Scott. Do you suggest us put a spread on?
No, not at this point. At 25 maybe. Now at 18, 19, I think you accumulate calls in the hole.
All right, that's what do we have today?
Yes, and we'll see what there is tomorrow. I think there's longs and shorts to have on if you're into tomorrow. If you want to have risk down, I feel like having cash into tomorrow as an active trader is also good. We'll figure out which way the market wants to resolve. If it wants to resolve at all, you know, this range has been longer than people thought, and things could always go longer than you think. But at least we'll have levels, and we'll have plan A, B, and C tomorrow based on the action. Have a great night.
All right, finger crossed for tomorrow's Snap Farm job data. Hope you have a good weekend. See you next week.
Yes.